Consider the greatest athlete who has ever lived. Fast, strong, unstoppable. Now imagine that athlete racing a turtle. The crowd laughs, the outcome seems obvious. The athlete should win within seconds. But over 2,500 years ago, a Greek philosopher claimed something astonishing. He argued that the athlete could never actually overtake the turtle. Not because the turtle was secretly fast, not because the race was unfair, but because reality itself makes catching the turtle impossible. His name was Zeno of Elea, and his paradox has puzzled mathematicians, physicists, and philosophers for centuries. At first glance, it sounds absurd. Of course we can overtake turtles. We see it happen every day. Yet Zeno wasn't trying to deny ordinary experience. He was exposing something much deeper. He wanted to show that our most basic assumptions about movement, space, and time may hide contradictions we rarely notice. His paradox is less about turtles than about the nature of reality itself. And strangely enough, even modern science still wrestles with the questions he raised. The race that never ends. Here is Zeno's famous thought experiment. Achilles, the fastest warrior in Greek mythology, races a turtle. To make things fair, the turtle starts 100 meters ahead. The race begins. Achilles quickly reaches the turtle's starting point. But by then, the turtle has moved a little farther. Achilles reaches that new position. Again, the turtle has advanced. Achilles reaches that point. The turtle moves once more. This continues forever. Every time Achilles reaches where the turtle was, the turtle has already gone slightly farther. No matter how tiny the remaining distance becomes, there is always another gap to close, another point to reach, another tiny journey to complete. The sequence never ends. If there are infinitely many distances to cross, how can the race ever finish? The puzzle isn't about speed. Achilles is always faster. The puzzle is about infinity. Can an infinite number of tasks ever be completed? This question shook the foundations of Greek philosophy. Dividing reality forever. To understand Zeno, forget the race for a moment. Stand up. Take one single step. Simple. Or is it? Before reaching your destination, you must first travel half the distance. Before reaching halfway, you must travel half of that half. Before that, half again. And before that, another half. The divisions never stop. Every distance can always be divided into smaller distances. Forever. If moving requires completing infinitely many smaller movements, how did you ever take a single step? Zeno wasn't playing word games. He was revealing a tension between mathematics and physical reality. Our minds tell us movement is effortless. Logic seems to suggest movement requires completing infinitely many actions. How can both be true? For centuries, nobody could answer. Infinity, friend or enemy? Most people think of infinity as simply a very large number, but infinity isn't large. It has no end. This changes everything. Imagine stacking books forever. You never finish. Imagine counting forever. You never reach the last number. So why should crossing infinitely many distances be any different? Zeno believed this revealed a fatal flaw in our understanding of motion. Either movement is impossible, or our concepts of space and time are mistaken. For nearly 2,000 years, philosophers struggled with this dilemma. Some rejected infinity entirely. Others dismissed Zeno as a sophist. Yet none could completely dissolve the paradox, because the argument always returned. Every journey contains infinitely many halfway points. Every line contains infinitely many locations. Every second contains infinitely many fractions of time. Infinity seems woven into reality itself. Mathematics strikes back. It wasn't until the 17th century that a new idea emerged. Calculus. Developed independently by Isaac Newton and Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, calculus introduced a revolutionary insight. An infinite number of smaller pieces can still produce a finite whole. Half plus 1/4 plus 1/8 plus 1/16. The sequence continues forever, yet the total equals exactly 1. Infinity no longer meant endless size. It could describe a perfectly finite result. Achilles crosses infinitely many intervals because each one becomes dramatically smaller. The total time remains finite. The race ends, the turtle loses. Mathematically, the paradox seems solved. But philosophy wasn't satisfied, because calculus explains how the numbers behave. It doesn't necessarily explain what reality itself is. Does space truly contain infinitely many points? Or is infinity merely a useful mathematical language? The debate quietly continued. The quantum surprise. Modern physics complicated the story once again. Quantum mechanics suggests that reality behaves very differently from our everyday intuition. Some theories propose that space itself may not be infinitely divisible. There may be a smallest possible length, the Planck length. Beyond this scale, the idea of dividing space further may lose physical meaning. If true, Zeno's endless divisions eventually stop. The infinite staircase disappears. Meanwhile, quantum particles don't always possess precise positions until measured. Movement itself becomes stranger than classical physics imagined. Even Einstein's smooth space-time may not be the final description of reality. Some approaches to quantum gravity suggest that space is built from discrete building blocks rather than continuous geometry. Ironically, after thousands of years, science has circled back toward questions Zeno first forced humanity to confront. Not because he proved motion impossible, but because he exposed how mysterious motion truly is. The turtle within us. Perhaps the deepest lesson has nothing to do with physics. Many of us live like Achilles, always chasing the next destination, the next promotion, the next achievement, the next version of ourselves. Each goal reached reveals another one slightly farther ahead. Success moves, happiness retreats. The finish line keeps shifting. Like Achilles chasing the turtle, life can become an endless pursuit. The Zen tradition recognizes a similar trap. The more desperately we chase enlightenment, the farther it seems. Because chasing assumes separation. It assumes that peace exists somewhere else, some future point, some better version of yourself. But if every destination creates another destination, perhaps the race itself is the illusion. The turtle becomes a symbol of endless striving, not something to defeat, but something to understand. Walking without arriving. Zeno never intended to teach despair. His paradox invites humility. It reminds us that reality often refuses to fit neatly inside common sense. The world appears simple until we examine it closely. Then certainty dissolves. Movement becomes mysterious. Time becomes slippery. Infinity enters ordinary life. The turtle teaches patience, not because it is slow, but because it never pretends the journey can be rushed. Every step exists completely in itself. It does not worry about infinite divisions. It simply moves. Perhaps wisdom is not solving every paradox. Perhaps wisdom is learning to walk despite them. You may never completely understand space. You may never fully grasp time. You may never eliminate every uncertainty, yet life continues. One step, then another. The turtle reminds us that philosophy is not merely about finding answers. It is about learning to see the questions hidden beneath every ordinary moment. And maybe that is why, after more than 2,000 years, one slow turtle still walks calmly ahead, while the fastest minds in history continue trying to catch it.